everyone, my name is Barb if you've never been here before. Hello everyone returning, welcome back. And if you like this video and you have not already, I hope that you consider subscribing. I'm doing something a little different today, so if you've already seen this whole spiel on the opposite video. So I'm going to have two things. I'm going to have one listed as podcast number 35 crochet version and podcast knitting version number 35. So if you've already watched the other episode, whether it's knitting or crochet, I'm just going to use the exact same little video to introduce it. So as I was saying, my name's Barb. I'm from a town outside of, it's actually considered a city, but it's a very, very, very small city outside Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. And it might be gloomy today. I apologize. Today it's calling for tornado warnings. So keeping my eyes peeled. I have my phone volume on just in case, which I never ever do. But it's got to be done. It's safety, right? You might notice if you've been here returning that I got a haircut. So welcome to my crochet section. So my crochet section is all about crochet. So, and all the crochet goodiness. So I'm wearing my cardigan. I'll put the name, sorry, here. I cannot remember. It's been 2 years since I crocheted this, but it is by Ashley from Heart Hook Home. It's a paid for pattern, but I've made 5 of these sweaters so far. So, and I have plans and the yarn for a 6th. My mom bought me 2 years ago, or gave me cash, and I purchased a sweaters quantity in the velvet. It calls for velvet in the pattern, Bernat velvet, and I made all the other 4 with the velvet, but this one I made with Scarfie, Lion Brand Scarfie, and I just love it. Like, it's just, it doesn't have buttons or anything. You could do what I do, and sometimes I have a pin. I actually tacked down the sides so that it doesn't flop open, and that way it's not so high up on the neck. My velvet one, I didn't do that with it because it's more drapey. This is more structured than that. So I just love, love, love it. So it's pretty warm in here with this wool one on, but I'm gonna just do my crochet section with this on, and then my knitted section I'll just put a little sweater on. I'm a little bit cool today. So for crochet, for my FOs, I think I was supposed to write some notes down that I kind of forgot, but here we go. So for my crocheted section, I'm doing some, actually for my FO section, I'm doing some snowflakes along with the Fiber Friends podcast, and they're having a knit or crochet snowflakes from September 9th, nope, September 10th till the 19th, okay? So I've made 2 so far. The first one I made, or actually I'm making them out of Peyton's Canadiana, and the colorway is probably a number, yeah, 3578. I liked that it was white and then had the blue specks kind of looking like ice, kind of. So my first one is from, I found on YouTube, and it's called Stella's Snowflake. It's made with a 4mm hook. And by Joanne Martinez. So that's my first one. And that was, how many rounds was that? It wasn't very many rounds. 5? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think there was 5 rounds to that one. Then my next one is called, I believe this one's called Christmas Star Ornament by Claire M. And it's on Ravelry. It's also free, and it took no time at all. 1, 2, this was 3 rows. So I wanted to join in the fun and make some snowflakes. I actually would like to do like a garland, but have snowflakes, and then maybe do some other things in between, like a snowman, or maybe I'll keep it winter themed so that it's not up just for Christmas, and I could keep it up through the winter as well. So anybody looking for that information for the snowflake make along, it's just till the 19th. I'm recording this on the 14th of September, and it probably won't be up till the 15th at least, because I'm doing it in so you have a few days left. So my next FO is partially an FO because I want to starch it. That's the only part left that I have. I made my own pattern up for a basket. So it's not looking like much right now. It's kind of floppy. So I thought my son come up with the idea to starch it. I did put 2 layers on the bottom. There's one layer that's the granny square, so that's what you see. But on the inside, it is just, I don't know if you'll see it in there. It's just a single crochet to give it more structure to the bottom. And I just stitch those together. And yeah, these are granny squares on the side. And I made little rectangles that I measured how far across for each section and how deep I'd need them so that they folded over. And I did one on each, maybe you can tell, there on each section. So, and then I just stitched them, tacked them down, and I thought for structure it would give it more structure on the top. But maybe once stuff is in it, it will sit up a little better. Like, it's pretty large. So here is my ball of yarn. Maybe if I put, to show you how large it is, there's my cake, and it's a pretty large cake. So I used Handy Crafter yarn and a 4mm, I think. No, I use a 5mm crochet hook. Just plain granny squares, and then I just mattress stitch them together after I did 5 granny squares. And then I did the single crochet, just measured how big the bottom was. I single crocheted across and did as many rows until I had a square, and then I stitched it in the bottom. So yes, I'm considering starching it, but I'm also considering maybe putting some kind of wire in just the corners to get it to stand up a little bit more upright. I'm not positive on that. I'm not sure. If anybody has any advice, just let me know down below if you did anything like this, or maybe I should just let it flop and it'll just add some charm to it. I'm not sure. So I hand dyed this Handy Crafter yarn with some RIT dye quite a long time ago. So I showed the colors when it was in a hank on one of my podcasts before. So there's a basket that I finished. The next is no more FOs. So now I just have some whips to show you. Okay, my whip whip is something I've decided I was looking for myself for. I was looking for something that I could throw over like this. I have a romper on right now, and it's short sleeves, and I wanted something. I was looking all over the place for like a kind of like a poncho, but I didn't want it square rectangle. I wanted it just a circle. But I've seen so many that were very tight crocheted and tight knitted, and I'm like, I did not find one that I really liked. They were either really, really large holes, or too tight, or used too much yarn, or not enough yarn. There were so many reasons I didn't like each pattern that I found. But I knew what I wanted. I wanted to use the Lion Brand shawl in a ball, and this color is called shawl in the ball, 61% cotton, 34% acrylic, and 5% other fiber. The other fibers like sparkle. So it is the color Graceful Green. Okay, so I really loved this. So I worked up one whole ball. Now I'm on to the second. So this is what I have so far. Actually, I will put it on and show you. Here we are, everyone. So it's long enough right now. If I wanted it to leave it this length, I'll stand back a little bit. Like, here's my belly button down here. Some people wear them just under their breasts, which it's sitting right under where my breasts are. So that would be sufficient enough, and it's kind of what I somewhat was going for. I loved this part of it. I wanted kind of like a cowl neck, but I didn't want it too heavy and too tight around my neck because I'd be so warm. So I thought a nice little drapey one. And see what I mean about the holes? They're just nice. They're not really big holes, but they're not very small either. Just enough to cover up like my arms and to see, you know, whatever shirt under I have. It's just like hinting kind of. But yeah, you can see how short it would be. So I love how it fits. I love how it feels. I did a lot of different things with this. So this is going to be a pattern of my very first pattern, and I've actually picked a name. I've discussed it with a friend of mine about ideas, throwing ideas and getting her opinion. Thank you so much, Gina, for helping me out. It's always appreciated. And I have so many ideas for this, and this is going to be a type of pattern that you could make for anyone from a toddler all the way up to 4, 5, 6X if you need to. And you can choose a cowl neck, a turtleneck, a flat neck, like any kind of necking that you want. And you can choose your length that you like. You can choose it more woolly if that's your jam. You can choose it tighter if that's how you like it. You can choose even a different stitch altogether. Like, I'm going to explain how to make it your own. This is going to take me a while. So if you're interested in it, follow along and let me know. And I'll be for sure looking for testers eventually. It won't be till the spring because I figured this would be a great spring item. So I'll work on it all winter because that's when I have the most time to do things like that, is like January, February, March. So I'm so excited about this, guys. I can't wait to see what everybody would come up with ideas. You can use any size hooks. You can use any kind of material from lace weight all the way up to chunky. I just give you all the ideas and the kind of the numbers, the measurements, and how to do that. So if this kind of thing excites you as it does me, oh, and I just love it. Like, look at that. I wasn't even planning that brown neutral zone in the middle there, but I just love that. So pretty. So this is going to be, actually, I'm not even going to tell you the name. I'm excited about the name. It's not even on Ravelry, the name. I looked it up when I was chatting with Gina, and nobody claimed that name, so I don't want to put it out there until I get it designed and tested. Now, also, does anybody know any tech editors? I have no patterns out there, and I'll be typing this up and I'll be looking for a tech editor. I don't even know how to go about this kind of stuff. So if you have any information, I would greatly appreciate it. I've tried looking it up on YouTube and blogs and stuff, but nobody's willing to share information with me. So if you have any information, look how drapey that is. That's so pretty. I can't wait till I can wear this. Can't wait to be done. I just wanted to finish it, get it off the first ball, because I'm just like here, and then, yeah. So then I can continue around. I think I want it around just about an inch lower than where I wear my pants, so that it's a little bit lower, and I think that that'll be perfect. So this is, for now, I'm just going to call my poncho. So also, I've been test crocheting for Kayla Osborne. Yes, you heard about it on the last podcast, the Film Noir. Film Noir twist was from the last podcast. I'll show you that first, but then I took on another test crochet as well. So here's the Film Noir twist. I'm having a little bit of trouble, not with the pattern. It has nothing to do with the pattern. It has to do with my wrists. The stitch that is included in this pattern, I can only work on it for like do maybe 4 or 6 rows, and then I got to put it away for a few days because it's really, I'm struggling with it on my wrist. So I'm using Karen's Simply Soft in burgundy, and I've used 2 balls so far. And last time you've seen it, I was here and I did all of these rows since, or wait a minute. Yep, that's how it goes. I'm just making sure I have the top of the sweater, not the bottom. Yeah, I did all those rows. And here's a little thing. I don't know if I showed it to you last time. If I did, I apologize. I made some little doohickeys here with some beads, and it says number 4 for 4 millimeters. So that means I'm using my 4 millimeter crochet hook, just so I know. So yeah, this is, I'll stick a picture up if I haven't already of the Film Noir twist sweater. So she told us we can spread the word about the pattern coming out soon after the testers are done at towards the middle to the end of October. So look forward to that, guys, because it's such a unique design. It goes so, I wouldn't say fast, but I wouldn't say slow either. Like crochet is pretty quick to begin with. It's just me with my wrists and finding the proper hooks that I need to do the motions, right? So it's such a pretty design, like in a single color or double color. You can use 1 color or 2. So that's where I am. I'm at the halfway point of my size. So the second one that I'm doing for her is called Windows to the Soul. I'm using a 4 millimeter hook, Lion Brand Ice Cream Scoops big yarn in Blue Moon. It's a number 3 weight yarn that the pattern calls for. I'm actually going to put it on to show you what it looks like so far.
I'm super excited. I just split for sleeves. I'm trying to figure out which is the front. I do have a front and back for some unknown reason. Yes, here we go. I'm not sure if there is supposed to be a front and a back, but here we go.
So here it is so far. Isn't it beautiful? Like I'm sure my romper underneath does no justice with the polka dots peeking through. I should just have like a little tank underneath just to show you, but I'll make sure to do that next time. So I literally just split for sleeves the last round I did. So the rest is just kind of like you see here, all the same stitches here down, and there's some shaping if you wish to shape. Yeah, this turned out so beautiful. I absolutely love testing for Kayla. Like, her patterns are so wonderful. I cannot rave enough. They go all the way up to a 5XL. And here is what the pattern will look like. You can choose to do right end your sleeves here, do 3/4 or do long. And if you do long, she also has it in the pattern to do a bell sleeve or a fitted sleeve if you choose. I'm thinking I'm going to keep it this length of a sleeve. I might do a few more rounds. I might do that, but yeah, I think, oh my gosh, I'm just in love with it. It was such a fun pattern, repeats to do. It took me 4 tries to do because I wasn't adding up, like I was always missing a stitch here or there, and it wasn't on top of each other, the repeats. So I knew right away that I was doing it wrong yet again. So I think I did the first five rows I did like 4 times before it clicked in my head. It's like, oh my gosh, now I know what I'm doing wrong. So such a great pattern. This pattern, the testing isn't due till the end of October. So maybe the beginning of November, I can't remember. She gives a long time for you to test. And so look for that when it's out. I, of course, will let everybody know on here when it is released, and also on Instagram, so that everybody knows, so they can have the opportunity to go purchase this beautiful pattern. So again, this one is called Windows to the Soul by Kayla Osborne. Thank you, Kayla, for another privileged crochet. When she asked for testers, I was already testing the other, and I messaged her, said, could I? And she's like, well, yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm testing the other one, but she knew that I have to take breaks from the other ones. So, and this one is such a quick crochet. Like, I did this all in a matter of 2 days. So I'm sure I could finish the rest of it in another 2 days. So in a week, you'd be able, if you've got like ample time. Like, I don't just sit down for an hour and crochet. I sit down for a long, extended period of time and crochet. So there you go. So I hope you let me know down below what you think about it. Okay, welcome all you crochet and knitters to the section that hopefully you've been waiting for. I've been excited to share all about the things that I've acquired over the last 2 weeks in one way or another. So first of all, I want to chat about a future thing that I'm going to do. It's another craft. It's not knitting or crochet related, but it is because of what this thing is for. So what I'm making is I'm going to make a little, I use these for notions, okay? They're little mint tins. They open, they're on a hinge, okay? And I get these tins full of mints. I eat the mints. I can't see throwing these out, or you could put them in the recycling, I suppose, but they are the perfect size for stitch markers. I have the little scissors or nail clippers in there. I have a needle in each one. I have one of those silicone called gripplies for my finger for knitting in each one, a row counter in each one, like so many things I have in each one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Mod Podge it. I'm going to print out some that are my labels, though, so they'll say Naughty Yarnies on it. I'm going to do some that are just knitting phrases. I bought some stickers that are knitting phrases, and I'm going to Mod Podge those on, just so they're not in these boring ones that just say mints. So my son bought me some Mod Podge, and I will be doing that. I can't wait. So look for me making that up. And I'm going to be doing probably about 10 of these, because I have one in every single one of my knitting bags, all ready to go. So all I have to do is empty each one and then make them up and let them sit there, and then I can start using them again. So that's one little adventure I'm going on. Now the rest of the stuff is, oh, the first thing I want to show you is the yarn that was drying the last podcast. So I didn't have, it was on the drying racks and I couldn't show you until today. So I had dyed my favorite color, all the different purples. So there's some darks, some lights, there's even some that go to pink. So these are 3 all dyed at once. But I mean, if somebody was purchasing these, I would suggest that they would rotate skeins, like change skeins. So this would be enough for a sweater quantity if somebody's using 2 colors, or if you're making size small or maybe even medium or large, depending. I know with a Love Note sweater, you can use a Love Note sweater like up to a size medium or large with mohair with 2 skeins, but I would use 3 myself just to be sure. I call this colorway Purple Kiss. Beautiful. They are 115 grams a piece. They are 470 yards, which is 430 meters. They're on my luxury base, which is 70% superwash wool, merino wool, 20% bamboo, and 10% nylon. So they're gorgeous. They're great for something like a shawl, sweaters. I mean, you could do socks, but with the 10% only with nylon, maybe if you were just sitting with them on, that would be fine. But I mean, you can make anything with these. They're beautiful. Oh, I'm just love them. So I figured I would dye my favorite color and have them all set to go. First things first, I want to follow along, and I always follow along the crochet crowd for their crochet alongs, and I'm always learning from them. So Mikey's next one starts on Boxing Day this year, and the only thing was, and I didn't purchase, I don't know if you've seen that he has a new book. I didn't purchase the book until he said he has a crochet along and it's only available in the book. You can't get it online or on Ravelry or anything. You had to purchase the book. So of course, this girl had to purchase the book. It was in 2 days. 2 days. So here it is. Boom. All that's missing out of here is their autograph. That's what's missing. So one day soon, maybe I'll be able to get their autograph. I don't know. I have their autograph on a crochet hook already. One of my 25mm wooden crochet hooks. So maybe one day I'll be able to get them on the book. I don't know. We'll see. So it's beautifully written, beautiful photos. Like, look at this. This is probably one of my favorites. Look at that. How adorable. And that's the pattern for this blanket's by Jeannie, and I'm wondering if it's maybe her granddaughter in the photo. I'm not sure. It doesn't say where the pictures are from. That's the thing, there's pictures and they don't say who the person is in the picture or things like that. I would have liked to know that part. But beautiful little book. It's thin, but there's lots of information. Tells you all about Mikey's backstory on him, and of course I have a soft spot for truckers, and my husband's a trucker, and Mikey used to be a trucker, so just a little FYI. And talks about their move to Nova Scotia in it, and why they chose there, and talks about their relationship a bit, I guess, and how he learned to crochet. And then it has a bunch of patterns in it, and talks about having a successful craft show, and it has a whole thing at the back that shows you all the terminology for crochet, all the symbols are, what they mean. So that's in there as well. So if that interests you, I paid $21.99 Canadian, $22.99 Canadian, something like that. So well worth it. So excited. So bring on December 26th, but not too fast. Okay, while we were in London, we went to Walmart. I know, Walmart of all places, we have a Walmart here. But Walmarts always have different yarns in each section, and in my local Walmart, there's barely a yarn section. Like, it's empty, let's be honest. I own more yarn than Walmart here does. Like, it's crazy. It's ridiculous. It's sparse. It's not even an aisle. It's just like a little short wall. Like, not impressive at all. So when I got there and I seen these yarns, I bought 2 of each of these. Lion Brand Mandela Ombre. Oh, they're gorgeous. Are they not beautiful or what? They're gorgeous. So I bought 2 skeins of each. This is called Felicity. And this one is called Harmony. And they're number 4 weight yarns. They are 100% acrylic. They're soft. They're not like Red Heart soft. Like, to me, Red Heart Super Saver like is scratchy. It's not scratchy. But it's not as soft as Karen's Simply Soft either. I would say it's more like if you felt Bernat premium yarn, that's how that feels. These are 150 grams each and 344 yards, which is 315 meters. So I bought 2, so I have like almost 600 meters or over 600 meters and almost 900 yards. 700 yards. So beautiful, beautiful colors. So I bought two of each color there. So was that it at Walmart? Oh no, and at Walmart there, I was there, and would you believe they have knit pick items? Like knit picks. A ball winder. They had a knit pick ball winder. I couldn't believe it. I have let me try that again. I have an electric ball winder, which works wonderfully, but there's 2 problems that I've been facing lately. I've been using it a lot lately, and it's loud. So when my husband is sleeping, my house is like a bungalow, so his bedroom, when he's sleeping, he's just like a door away from where I'm winding my yarn, and it's loud. So that's problem number 1. Problem number 2, it winds the skeins tight, the electric one, very tight. So I usually end up winding them twice so that they're not as tight. So that was my problem. So I figured with the hand one, and oh, the third problem is it kind of sounds like it's grinding the motor. So I'm like, oh, if it dies and I didn't buy this, I'd be super, super mad at myself. So this was only $29.99 Canadian at Walmart. Of course, Canadian, I'm in Canada. And yeah, I can't wait to try it. I have waited till I seen you guys to even open it. Oh, look at that. It's kind of a dusty rose color. Here, I'll show you the color. It's not put together, so I'll have to, but here's the color of it. It's like the color of my dress that I wore at the wedding. Actually, oh, I'll talk about that later. So, yeah. So I got that at Walmart. Knit pick stuff. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe that they had that stuff there. I also went to Winners. I love Winners. They always have different stuff. I've been looking for a cup that tells me how much water to drink every day. I'm bad for drinking my water. So I found this big gut lug. It says you fill it up in the morning. I don't care if it's room temperature water. I always have another drink with me, so a tea or a pop or whatever it may be. But I fill this and then I try to have it drank by the end of the day. So it says like 8 a.m. ready to go. 10 a.m. drink more. 12 p.m. keep it up. 2 p.m. yes, you can. 4 p.m. no excuses. 6 p.m. almost there. And 8 p.m. treat yourself. So you keep drinking, and there's a straw in there. This is a 1.5 liters. I'm not sure. 1.5 liters. 54 ounces, 1,600 milliliters actually, so it's more than 1.5 liters. So yeah, I purchased that at Winners. And also at Winners, I got these sets of 3 pouches. Like I see some people selling these, they make them themselves, but I figured, hey, this would make a great notions pouch. This would be great size for socks. And this one would be great size for shawls or even whatever, hats, shawls, whatever. So there's 3 of them. You could see through there. I piled the 3 just in this one. I bought 6, so I have 2 of each size. So they fit all compact inside each other. So there's a small, medium, large. So if I don't have any projects in it, it's only taking up the space of 1. So I've got the set of, so those were $7.99 for the pack of 3. And those were at Winners. So you might find them at your Winners. And also right there, these were with the travel things, is another pouch that has 3 separate, so there's a 1 zipper here, there's a zipper here, and there's a zipper on top. So the one on top is deep, it goes right down. And then of course the middle one goes halfway, and then the front one is just right here. So you can have a big section. So I figured this is good for a bag as well. Like I could put a project in the middle, and then I could put my notions pouch in the front, and then I could put in the middle one, I could put like things like my wallet and my sunglasses if I'm going somewhere, and just carry it with me. I don't know. Haven't quite decided. I purchased it because I was going to put my crochet hooks all in it. So I thought they were 3 separate little pouches, not that they were like a big one as one. So it's too big for what I was going to plan to. So I haven't quite decided what I'm doing with this one yet. That was it from there. Oh no, Winners, I bought this heavy duty, beautiful. It's got, look at the wood. It's like, it's a towel holder, but it's heavy. So, you know, so I'm using it as a yarn hold, like to put my yarn on and pull it from the outside. So I could put the cake over top, just unscrew this, put the cake over and pull from the outside so that, yeah, so it stays in place and then it goes down more. I don't know. If you choose to go from the outside, there's benefits to the outside and benefits to the inside as well. So this is heavy enough so when you're pulling, if you snag a knot, it's not going to go flying across the room, right? So I always wanted one of these. I have a cheap metal one, and that's exactly what happened. I would pull and then it would just fly. When I caught a knot or something, it would fly. But this is very heavy. Like, it's heavier than it looks. It's like actual slab of wood, so it's nice and heavy, very sturdy. This is called art olive, like art olive with a D in front of the olive. The olive wood is a sustainable hardwood, well known for its special texture. Each piece is unique. The small spots can color differences are not defects, but the real nature of the olive wood. It's hand carved, made in Tunisia. Hand wash, periodically treat with mineral oil. Sorry, it's on black and the writing is like a dark green, so it's very hard to read. Very hard to read, but look at the bottom, like it's gorgeous. This was only $9.99 in Winners. If I was to look for something like this at a specialty, like a craft store or your local yarn store, I bet you it's $40, $50 easy. So sometimes think outside of the box. It's all, like, I like to be frugal when I can, and that's a lot of the time. That's what I'm most likely to do, is to be frugal. That's why I love the secondhand stores, because I like to be frugal where I can, and then spend my money where I need to, right? So that was my last thing at Winners. The last thing I purchased besides the knitting loft, which again, watch the separate video because there's some beautiful things in there. Beautiful. And I just wanted it to be a whole separate video, so there's so many people looking forward to that video, me chatting about my trip to the store. So I didn't want to just put it on and talk about the items. I wanted to talk about my whole time at the Knitting Loft in Toronto and all the wonderful people I met there. So please take a second to watch that video also. So I also went to the Dollar Tree. Why? Because I needed more mints so that I have more tins. These are at the Dollar Tree. And if you're Canadian, just so you're aware, this month or next month, or I know it's already started in the ones I went to, everything's $1.50 now instead of $1.25. So their prices went up. So just keep that in mind when you're shopping, because my son used to get these pepperoni sticks and they're up to $1.50 now, and you could get them for $1 or $1.25 at Dollarama. So why would you pay more at the Dollar Tree? But I had to go for these tins. So I went and I found this Christmassy kind of looking yarn. And it's sock yarn, and they're only 50 grams. But look at how pretty they are. They're gorgeous. So the color is, I don't know if they even have a name. They're 85% acrylic, 15% polyamide, which is nylon, another version of nylon. Cold hand wash only. And it does not, it doesn't even have a colorway. We'll just call this Barb's Magical Christmas. It's so pretty. It's almost like there's red, but there's also a deep, deep pink in there. And there's the Christmassy green, and there's purple and white. Like, it just screams to me like a Christmas colorway that I would love, with purple and pink in it. Okay. So stay tuned if you're interested in my personal section. That's coming up next. And now this isn't going to be terribly long. This is just what I've been up to lately. I probably already talked about my haircut and my hair color. I got that for the wedding. And here's what me all dressed up. I didn't get a photo of me head to toe, which is very unfortunate because I looked pretty darn good. And my husband bought me some little short cowboy boots, and I had the dress is very, very long with a sexy split up the side, and he bought me that, oh, it's such a soft sweater that I'm wearing in the photo that you can see. A beautiful soft sweater, and everything was on like clearance prices. The only thing he paid full price was the sweater, because it's the only thing I found that went on top that was that matched kind of with the outfit, because the outfit's tie-dyed. I don't know if you'll be able to tell from the pictures, but it's a tie-dyed dress and it's gorgeous. I plan on wearing it. I have another family wedding on New Year's Eve. Fun, right? And I plan on wearing that dress there too. So yeah, so we went to London, and which is in Ontario. We left on the Saturday morning. Took us 10 hours to get there, but we stopped for 2 of those hours. We stopped at the Knitting Loft, and oh my gosh, everybody was so wonderful there. I got to meet the owner and the owner's daughter, which I used to watch their podcast all the time. And it's like, oh my gosh, I got to meet her, and I kind of, you know, when you fangirl somebody and you just don't want to seem like you're freaking out. I was trying not to freak out. The moment I heard her voice, I was trying not to look her way because she was talking to her employees. So I didn't want to interrupt her or go over and overwhelm her with me being a fan. I took my time, composed myself, looked around. Then I went over asking a stupid little question and asked her something. And then I said, oh my gosh. And then I asked her if she's podcasting again. And she, to my surprise, said, we were thinking about that. And I said, I really hope you get back into it, because I really, really enjoy their podcast. I love all podcasters. Like, I sit there and I watch so many in the format of showing their FOs to showing their whips and talking about their personal lives and showing their hauls and their acquisitions, happy mails, like all that kind of stuff. That's my jam. That's what I really, really like. So yeah, I'm praying, I'm hoping they do that again. And I met some fantastic workers that are there, including an amazing young gentleman that kind of seemed shy, but I liked that about him. Like, he was just getting into knitting, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. And he was talking about what project he was working on. I asked him, and I said, I think I know exactly the project. I couldn't think of the name of it, but he knew that I knew exactly what project he was working on. And I'm like, oh, you got this. Like, keep going. Like, especially working in a yarn store, the opportunity to learn off those fellow people that work there and are obsessed and live their work life and their home life probably with yarn is just amazing. That's just like my dream, to be able to do what I love all day, all night. And it's kind of what I do right now. I kind of do that because I podcast and I knit and crochet all day long, and the only thing that interrupts me is housework. But oh, what an amazing visit there. And then when we unfortunately, I was down to an hour that I could only have. And I went with my oldest son and my youngest son, and then my oldest son's fiance. So my husband wasn't able to join us. He only has a day and a half off of work. Yes, it was a long weekend, but he still works on long weekends. So he works in the middle of the night for the long weekend. So he couldn't be in two places at once. So he couldn't be at the wedding and on, driving home, or be in bed. When we were at the wedding, he would have been crawling in bed at home. So it's impossible, and especially being 8 hours away. So I was there for an hour at the knitting loft, and wish it was longer, because what I normally do, I go and I make a tour of all around to see what they all have first of all, and then it would take me a while to decide, go around and think about what I want to purchase. I wanted mohair, so I got some mohair, watched the video to see what mohairs I picked, and I just kept putting stuff on the counter, what I wanted to purchase. I was saving up for this trip for a while, and my husband gave me some anniversary money for our anniversary, because we had our 28th wedding anniversary on the 28th. So the wedding weekend was a week after that. And then we stopped at a model store also in Toronto, which was only like 7 minutes drive, I think, from the knitting loft. So my oldest son does models, so model trucks, cars, planes, tanks. Even my oldest son is a mechanic, and we bought him actually a garage. It's like a garage. It has the toolboxes, all the tools, everything. So he paints it, he weathers the thing. Sometimes he puts mud drops on or raindrops on. He does amazing work. Actually, I don't know if you could tell, but right here is a Dodge Charger, I think it is, or I think it's a Charger, and he did it pink for me, because I was like, oh, can you do this for me in pink? And so he did that model for me in pink. It's beautiful, and it has sparkle and everything. I love it. So that's what he does. My youngest son's an apprentice too, just because I said so he's a mechanic apprentice. So he just got his card 2 months ago, I believe, in the mail. So we're pretty excited and pretty proud parents. Their grandfather was a mechanic, so we're not surprised. So so we went down on the Saturday. That was 10 hours with the 2-hour stop, and we went through Toronto. So we got to see, I grew up my teen years in Toronto, so we lived there. So I was used to that at that point, but my son did so great driving through the big city. I was so proud of him. And then we went out for dinner when we got to our hotel room. The next day was the wedding, but we went to the gym in the morning because we missed the gym the day before. So because we're a Planet Fitness people, we can go to any Planet Fitness in the country. So we went to the London Planet Fitness, and shout out to anybody from there. And then we went back, and they have did we have breakfast that day? Yeah, I think we had breakfast. So we went down and we met everybody that was there for the wedding at the breakfast, and I helped my little cousin get his plate of food. He wanted a waffle, so I helped him make his waffle. And then we went and got ready for the wedding. So we had the whole wedding and everything. That was awesome. Bride was beautiful. So much, I could go into so much, but I won't. It's just a beautiful country wedding in an old barn. It was gorgeous. And then Sunday we came home. Took us 8 hours to drive home. We drove home through Algonquin Park. The leaves are just starting to change. Gorgeous drive. We seen no moose. My oldest son drove that way because he wanted to see moose, and he would have stopped for photos and everything, but no moose was to be had. It was too beautiful of a day, I guess. And so that was beautiful. And so it was a beautiful, beautiful weekend away. Very, very nice. Really had a wonderful weekend. Then when we got back home, it was like, oh, I'm back home and time to concentrate more on my projects and my channel and get things going again. And come fall and all the knit-alongs and all the crochet alongs and all the test knits and crochet knits and the test knits, or crochet tests, I guess you would call it. So that's really all that's been going on besides getting ready for the wedding and everything like that. There's nothing worth mentioning besides that. So yeah, my puppy, here. Come here. I haven't shown him in a while. So this is my dog. Oh, he's gone. Hey, no. This is my dog, Whiskey. He is looking out the window. There's the school buses are on now and they're going by, but he's part Pomeranian, part Shih Tzu, part miniature pincher, and part Papillon. And you could tell by his ears that he's got the Papillon ears in him. So, oh, he's quite a character. Hey, quite the character. Oh, ho, ho. Trying to get him to sit still to face the camera. There we go. There we go. What are you doing? Hey, who's all that people? Okay. All right. He's got to go to the washroom. So, look forward to my Knitting Loft yarn haul video in the next couple days. And also my Prim crochet hook review. That will be coming up as well. It's just a short little video, so if you're interested in learning about the Prim hooks, if that's something that interests you. I plan to do a review, not necessarily a review, more of a comparison video of all the different crochet hooks I have. So I have, like, from metal, I have the Prim, I have the light up crochet hooks, I have rubber crochet hooks, I have wooden handle ones. I think that, oh, and I have one that's an ergonomic that you put the metal needle into, or hook into, and you can crochet with that as well. So all the ones I own, I don't have any furls to talk about, but everybody, I hear people either love them or they hate them. So I've never bought them, and something tells me if I had one, I might want to get a dozen, because there's no in between, right? That's what I hear from people that own the furls. You get one and you're addicted. So I don't think I will purchase any of them. I will stay clear of that because I think I have enough hooks to be happy with. So watch for those videos coming up. I always end up doing this. I babble at the end because I don't want to leave you, because I'm here by myself and I don't want to leave, and then I've got to clean everything up that I just messed. So if you watch both videos, thank you so much. If you watched one video, thank you very, very much. I'm putting this part at the end of both videos. So if you stuck around both times to listen to me babble, bless your soul. I would, anyway. Take care, everyone, and the next week you will see whichever I did more of, either knit or crochet. So whatever I end up doing more of, I will record for next week, and then the week after you'll see vice versa. So every 2 weeks you're going to get a crochet podcast. Every 2 weeks you're going to get a knitting podcast. And if you do both, you're going to see every week you're going to see a video. So it might be Monday, it might be Friday. Editing takes a while, guys, and it depends how much projects I actually get completed and what I can actually show you. So take care, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. My youngest son's birthday is coming up, and my brother's on the same day. My sister-in-law's is the day before, and my stepsister-in-law's is the day after my son's also. So we got like 2-3 day period where it's birthdays. But yeah, so happy birthday, Cole. Happy birthday to my brother, Joe. Happy birthday to my sister-in-law, Kathy. Happy birthday to my stepsister-in-law, Sue. And I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful week. See you next week or in 2 weeks. depending which one you choose to watch. Take care, everybody. Don't forget about the other videos that I have uploading. Bye. Love you all. Thanks for watching.